Thank you. Pretty difficult where to stand here. It's quite a cool screen, but my name is Troels Skjelbo, and I'm the CMO of Visma E-conomic. E-conomic, you might know us. It's a software company. One of our products is economic and accounting system, and we make software for businesses. But the main reason I'm here is that my passion is to, as it's written here, is to create teams and organizations that create outstanding business results because employees are engaged, are learning, and are flourishing. That's why I'm here. And I think we're pretty proud of our results at Visma E-conomic. We've created a lot of growth. We are growing close to 20% on an annual recurring revenue of 400 million. So it's going quite well. It's not a hockey stick, unfortunately. Maybe I should push it a bit, but a lot of growth. We are Visma E-conomic in Denmark, but we're part of Visma, which is Europe's largest SaaS company. So that's enough about us. And the first thing I thought about when I was invited to talk here, I'm very happy for that, is wow, just wow. Looked at the website, it's just so many great ideas, so much growth. I can hear when people talking here. It's just amazing. And actually kind of it's intimidating as well, because a lot of these hacks, not only these, has been actually a great inspiration for ourselves, and we have stolen or borrowed or whatever you call it, a lot of these. So quite intimidating to be here ourselves to talk about growth hacks. But actually there are one growth hack that for us have been more valuable than all the others. That's what I want to talk about a bit here. Basically, when I thought about this, we all need the same thing to grow. The secret recipe is not that secret. It's just like what we all want is the most innovative technology, best products, superior marketing, sales force with the highest growth rates and conversion rates, and outstanding customer service. So that's the secret sauce for us, but probably most certainly for all of you. So nothing secret about that. But the thing is, there's only one thing that could create this for us. Only one single thing, in my opinion, and that's the employees. That's having super engaged employees. That's the only way to create this, in our opinion. So that's actually our best growth hack. It is to create an environment where that can happen, where I can get these engaged employees, where they can learn and where they can flourish. That's our growth hack. That's what's been most valuable to us throughout time. So how do we do it? Well, the most important thing that we've done is to just plainly kill top-down management. We try to stop working like it's 1910, like we are running a car factory with an assembly line. So off goes the top-down management. Henry Ford allegedly said this. I found it on the internet, of course, never talked to him, but it's written on the internet, so it's true, right? That he said, why is it every time I ask for a pair of hands for my assembly line, it comes with this annoying brain attached? So he really wanted to get rid of that brain that people have, and it makes sense at that time, because if you're standing at an assembly line and you're using your brain too much, you're going to be slow. Because you shouldn't think, you should just put one thing on top of the other, faster and faster and faster. But the world is not like this anymore. This is not what you're talking, all the growth hack that you've been talking about today and all the other times, it's not about leaving the brain at home. Because if your employees leave the brains at home, you can forget about growth. So it's quite the opposite, and that's why we just killed top-down management, because it creates bureaucracy. Also in small companies, it leads to bad decisions because all decisions are taken by people at the top, a small elite at the top who doesn't know shit about what's going on down in the business. And first and foremost, it just leads to disengaged employees. So we killed top-down management and put something else instead. The two things, well, we did a lot of things, but the two most important things we did was our strategy process, the way we strategize and use strategy, we just turned that upside down. Very important. And then we focused on the execution. How can we align and focus in a much better way? And we use the OKR method for that. So these two are the most important things that we did to kill top-down management and get much more growth. If we look at the strategy, what we did turning it upside down, we had our strategy before, and before it's not like 20 years ago, it's like 2-3 years ago. And we have a strategy now which looks completely different. Our strategy before, and maybe I should have outsourced it to Robert to clean up these slides. It's definitely, but strategy for us before, and this is only a small fraction of the strategy. I think this is from 2015, so it's not really relevant anymore, but it looked like this. I wouldn't say thousands of slides, but I would say hundreds of slides like this. And they weren't pretty, we can agree on that, but also they were like this. Hundreds of slides like this is strategic area 4, project number 10. So you can just imagine how many strategic areas with this number of projects underneath. And all the projects were like this, very specific. We had to do this, define this, build this, blah, 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 blah. Very specific, made at the start of the year, maybe for a 2-3 year period. And of course that didn't work. I can see that now, it sounds banal. I've made strategy for so many years and I made many, many strategies like this and didn't just get why it didn't work. Now I do, and that's why we're making it in a totally different way. Today it just looks like this. And this is not a fraction, this is the strategy. I just blanked out some of these just to make it seem very important. But this is a strategy. There's one more slide like this with a small text explaining what it is. But the strategy is only, and that's a big thing, but it's only telling us where do we want to go. So we use a lot of time making the strategy, but only saying where do we want to be in life. This is for the next 2 years, actually ending this year. Where do we want to go and where do we want to be and how does it look? And we have formulated it as OKRs. So we cut out all the other hundreds of slides saying, and how do we get there? It's only where do we want to go and what does it look like? And then we focused on the execution as well. And because when we tell people where we want to go, it's also important that we give all the employees a tool to align and focus so everybody's not going in the opposite direction but are working together. And this is where we use OKR. How many of you know about OKR? Yeah, I thought so. It's pretty widespread. A lot of tech companies started Intel. It's not only for tech companies, there's nothing techy about it. And in my opinion, OKR is a very cool tool. It suits us very well because we wanted to kill top-down management. I think it's a very simple tool. Actually, I can't really explain what's in the tool. To me, it's more a mindset, a very powerful mindset that says it's not about the ideas. I know this is the ideas. Ideas are, of course, important, but it's 99% execution. And 99% of those 99% are about a team. Because if you're only one people, well, it's not a team. But if you're like most companies, more than one people, it's all about execution. It's about getting your team to really have a fire inside and be passionate about execution. So that's where OKR comes in. We made this process, making the strategy yearly. Well, we revise it yearly, make it for 2 years at a time. You can do it any way you want. But then we have this quarterly process where we, at the start of each quarter, set goals and prioritize, follow up bi-weekly, end each quarter by wanting to learn. So we hold retrospectives, not on did we reach the sales numbers, but on how good did we play, how good did we execute. And then we celebrate, because there's always something to celebrate. Even in the month where you don't meet the numbers, you have made some great stuff and you want to celebrate that to give your team this confidence. More specifically, we start each quarter with one strategy, clear goal of where we want to go in 2 years, but we start each quarter with no plan. And I really mean it. We don't have a plan. If you ask me on the 1st of April, well, we have a plan on the 1st of April. If you ask me 14 days before that, we don't have a plan. We know where we want to be in 2 years, but we don't know which steps we want to take this quarter. Instead, at the end of each quarter, before the next one starts, we hold 4 strategic workshops, 1 for each of the strategic goals. And at these workshops, everybody is invited to identify what would be the most important steps. And I mean everybody. It's not like this management lingo saying everybody's invited as long as you don't say anything. Really, everybody's invited. It's very handheld workshops, each of them with focusing on one of these. And then everybody in the organization can come with a post-it saying, this is the most important step, this is the most important step. In reality, because a lot of people are 200 people in Visma E-conomic, in reality there's small workshops before, and then some is maybe saying to the team leader here the post-it, or come with, give some other people the post-it, but it is truly open. Everybody can contribute, and they do. So everybody have a post-it saying this is the most important step to maybe to reach this strategic goal. And then we take all of these post-its and we put them in what we call OKR boards, where each of them is an initiative that we formulate as an objective and key results. We have one here, add-ons on website. The objective here is to make it easier for our customers to find the right setup on the website to sell more add-ons. That's the objective. And then we have the key results. How do we know if we met that? That would be a new front page and implemented, conversion rate increased by 15%, and the key results like that. And then we have a lot of these. Actually, after the workshops, we had 60. Then we prioritized, and we could only do 30 of them. But the thing is, everybody has contributed to this. This is not a top-down thing. It's what people have said is the most important. And that's the game changer, actually. Because we don't get this, why should I do this? I don't see the meaning of this. Everybody has heard the discussion. Everybody can even understand why we have to prioritize, because they can see, okay, my peers had all these great ideas as well. So that's how we kill top-down management, which is actually our best growth hack. Kill top-down management, try it yourself. It even exists in very small companies. Use OKR to align and focus, and then you'll get engaged employees, and then you can just sit back and enjoy your growth. Thank you.